A guy put his bench, squat and deadlift numbers in his personal skills section for a bar job. It spawned a long tradition of asking bartenders what they could bench when they applied for a job. Well, if the bar was looking for a bouncer, I could maybe understand trying to impress them by mentioning how strong they are. I work at an escape room. We once received a resume that consisted in a web page address protected by a password, and 3 well-crafted riddles that we had to solve to get the password. We spent an hour doing it with 2 colleagues, and it included decrypting a code from a specific frame of Zodiac by David Fincher. It was simply amazing. Sadly, we weren't hiring at the time, and she had found another job. We started hiring again. Edit. David Fincher, not Lynch. My bad. Sadly, we weren't hiring at the time, and she had found another job. We started hiring again. Sounds like you should have made an exception in the beginning. I had a candidate who worked in counseling in the past, mostly with kids who had been through trauma. They had a line on their resume that said, "Expert in child kidnapping." I had to at least give them an interview because I understood the intent, but the wording was just hilariously unfortunate. Edit. For those seeking clarity, he was an expert in kidnapping cases. No, he didn't get the job. Nice guy, but not a good fit for the role. I took the honest route on my resume and wrote, no skills in child kidnapping, but willing to learn. I had one application dropped off by the applicant's mother. She told me, if you hire him, you probably shouldn't trust him with money. Please tell me it was at a bank. Guy submitted a resume claiming to be a ghostwriter for a local college. In lieu of a college degree, he listed the units he wrote assignments for and the average grades his clients got. Good lord, I actually was a legitimate ghostwriter for a few years. An agency would pay me to scout locations in a remote town and write detailed descriptions of the things to see, visit, do, etc. They'd pass this on to travel sites, whose writers would add their personal touch and make it about their visit to those locations. I never added this to my resume. Mostly because I don't apply to travel-related positions, but how the hell do I even include that? It was 14 pages. Haha, we had a resume for an internship come through that was that long and included his karate accomplishments in 6th grade. I have incredible attention to detail. I said that once, in the email body. Proceeded to forget to attach the CV. My uncle works in marketing and told me about an applicant who sent them a video file as resume where he presented himself like one would present a product in a commercial. He immediately wanted to hire him for his creativity alone. I want to see that video real bad. Hiring for retail. 2 all-time favorites. Experienced at stalking the cooler. Responsible for closing paperwork after each shit. Doing the paperwork after each shit is kind of important. You certainly don't want to walk around covered in that stuff, least of all on your hands. Was looking for a casual salesperson. This 18-year-old put a selfie of her, which was taken in a car showing a lot of cleavage. Not what I was looking for. I guess she was hoping I was a middle-aged single man. Were you a middle-aged single man? I suspect not. Edit. Why is my top comment about someone else being a middle-aged single man? I had a funny typo on a resume I once reviewed. It read, assassinated the lead florist on site. Obviously it was meant to say, assisted. Asterisk obviously asterisk. I got my first IT job because I put in additional skills modifying Fallout 3 using Gek. I just loaded custom packs and got them to work, and they gave me the job miraculously even though I was underqualified. Many of us who are in IT are also gamers. not a hiring manager, but for years I was applying for jobs with a high school qualification for art and design listed as art and design. Got 2 jobs in that time, and countless rejections. My boss would hire you in an instant, if he got that CV. Bad emails. When interviewing for a professional position, and your contact email is 69 Smockagirl 420 blazing, it's a terrible way to start the resume. Right? It's free to make as many emails as you want. Just spend the 3 minutes to make a second email that's firstname.lastname@domain.com for your work purposes. Edit. Fixing the email in case our overlords get upset. Had a resume come in from a guy we fired about 2 years previously. Had a gap in his employment, where the time was he had been with us, so not even like he didn't realize. The confidence to apply for a job you've been fired from. Man, that's something. Every referee has a sentence or two about how we shouldn't call them because they parted on bad terms or it had been a while. Some applicants listed referees who, when called, barely remembered working with the person. I'm surprised he has me listed as a reference, since he tried to sue me earlier this year. True story. Second language was Klingon. Too bad the guy was a total ass during his interview. Not his fault, you have no honor. Had a kid applying to work at a Sam Goody as a stock boy, right, that he was a petroleum transference engineer for Exxon at his last job. His job was pumping gas. I hired him on the spot. Yo, I reviewed a resume like that once, lol. Kid wrote something like, waste management technician, for being a school janitor, lol. Not a hiring manager, but I once wrote stuff like, able to plug in USB on first try, and can do up to 10 push-up before going into sleep mode, in the additional skills section. They later told me I was invited, because they wanted to see if I really can do the first one. Did you? I was on a hiring committee for a college instructor. The candidate was asked to provide a statement of commitment to the college and its mission. An entire paragraph was plagiarized, copied, and pasted from a website. I noticed that the writer's voice drastically changed, so I pasted a sentence into Google, and immediately found the source. He did not get an interview. I noticed that the writer's voice drastically changed, so I pasted a sentence into Google. It's funny how the people who would plagiarize don't realize how anyone immersed in writing/language, and recognize this instantly. I would like to work at your factory. I don't have a factory. Read the fucking job description. I don't think your job offering is good enough for me if you don't even have a factory. Please delete my information, thank you. No factory. Jesus. Not so much the content of the application, but what was on the application. A handprint. It was for a food handling position, and he was grungy enough to leave a print from where he held down the paper to write on it. Instant no. Looking back, yeah, there was a chance he'd have been fine. We could have taught proper hand washing and all that, but at the time we declined to grant an interview. Did the application look roughly like this? https://vignette.wikia.net/elderscrolls/images/f/v/mysterious note 01.png/revision/latest equals 20,121,206,231,951. I saw this asked before, and said in one I had a resume state for work experience be hacker, the internet. They also stated they've been both hired and fired for hacking various things, and have never been convicted of a computer crime. One resume read, expert in indoor horticulture. Indoor horticulture was in quotes. Hired. I was interviewing people for an IT company. You'd put experience with SCSI on his resume. For non-techies, Husky is a type of hard drive pronounced as he wrote it, but never in a million years written that way. I had something opposite happen with me. I always saw GUI as the letters GUI. Was never really a word or phrase that came up in verbal conversation. In conversation at work someone said GUI to me, and I had no idea WTF they were talking about. I was then the laughing stock of the office because I didn't know what GUI was. I did, just not in that pronunciation. GIF/GIF,